You know, the world we live in, the bridges, the power plants, the cities, it doesn't just happen. It's built by massive, often invisible global corporations. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of them, WHT Global. We've got our hands on their corporate brochure, and we're going to deconstruct their blueprint to really understand how a company like this sees itself and what that tells us about the future they're busy building for all of us. And right off the bat, you see this huge, ambitious language. The picture is all about massive, modern infrastructure. And the mission? To make the world a better, more resilient, and safer place. Look, this is more than just a mission statement, isn't it? It's a claim to being a kind of global caretaker. It frames what they do not just as a business, but as a public good. So how exactly does a construction company back up a claim like building a better world? Let's dig into the why they give us. The purpose they say is driving these enormous, world-changing projects. And here we have it, the heart of their sales pitch, pulled right from their own brochure. Just listen to the words: economic expansion, creation of employment, link communities. See, they're not just selling concrete and steel, they're selling the idea of prosperity and connection. This moves them from being just another contractor to an essential partner in a country's development. Okay, so behind a vision that big, you've got to have a philosophy, right? A set of rules. WHG Global builds theirs around three core pillars. This is the how, the framework they say guides every single decision they make, from a small design choice to a gigantic solar farm. So the first pillar is being innovation-centric. Now you might think, construction is an industry as old as time, so what does that even mean? Well, for them, it's all about using technology and advanced engineering to constantly push the envelope, to build faster, stronger, and smarter. It's their way of saying they're on the cutting edge. Next up is sustainability first. And let's be honest, in today's world, this isn't just a nice-to-have pillar, it's basically a requirement to even be in the game. The claim here is that green practices are deeply woven into everything they do, promising the smallest environmental footprint possible. This is absolutely crucial for winning public trust and those massive government contracts. And their final pillar brings it all back to the customer: focused excellence. Because at the end of the day, their business is all about delivering for a client. This pillar is their promise of being reliable and flexible, making sure that the big vision and the green methods actually lead to a successful project for the people footing the bill. All right, so we've seen their why and their how. Now let's get into the what. And this is where the sheer scale of what they can do really comes into view. I mean, it stretches from the highways we drive on to the renewable energy that's going to power our future. And to kick things off, they hit you with a big number: more than 1,200 completed projects. That isn't just a number, you know? It's a library of experience. It's a massive track record that screams, we know how to get things done over and over again. Their bread and butter, their foundation, is large-scale infrastructure, literally the skeleton of our modern world. We're talking about those complex highway systems, the vital train networks, and the big certified buildings that shape our cities. This is their core business. But they're clearly not just stuck in the past. Their portfolio shows a huge strategic move toward the future. They are deep into renewables: solar, wind, hydropower. This isn't just some side hustle. It's a direct follow-through on that sustainability first pillar we were just talking about. And their engineering muscle extends into one of the most difficult environments you can build in: the water. They're constructing the harbors that fuel global trade, the breakwaters that protect our coastlines, and the critical pipelines that run under the sea to deliver resources. Then they drop this little bombshell of a statistic: a 98% orientation towards green building. A number like that is designed to do one thing, and one thing only: to prove that their promise of sustainability isn't just talk, it's a real, measurable part of almost everything they build. So, a broad overview gives you a sense of their scope, but the details, that's where the real story is. So let's zoom way in and look at a case study from one super critical area: healthcare. This is where we can see their philosophy and their skills all come together in a really tangible way. You know, building for healthcare is uniquely challenging. It's not just about putting up a building. It's about creating a human-centric space that's actually designed to help people heal. This means they're transforming spaces, either from scratch or through really complex renovations, into these advanced therapeutic facilities. And wow, this picture says it all, doesn't it? They oversee the entire journey, from a raw steel skeleton all the way to a polished, state-of-the-art medical facility. It's a total A to Z transformation. And just look at the raw data for only 2 of their hospital projects. I mean, we are talking about tens of thousands of square meters, hundreds of beds, dozens of highly technical operating rooms. These are basically small cities completely dedicated to medicine. But it's not just about being big. Take a look at the design of this patient room. The philosophy is so clear. Use natural light, open space, and modern design to create a place that actually helps people get better. This is exactly what they mean by a human-centric approach. Okay, so we've gone deep into a specific case. Let's pull the camera back out now and look at the bigger picture. What does all of this, the huge vision, the core principles, the incredible range of skills, what does it all add up to? How does a company like WHT Global really define itself? Well, the answer seems to be in what they call their integrated approach. And this right here is the central gear in their whole machine. They aren't just a construction company you hire. By mixing their building skills with finance and property development, they can manage a project from the very first idea to the final handover. They're an all-in-one solution. And this is the most important takeaway. By presenting themselves as this fully integrated partner, WHT Global is making a massive claim. They're saying they aren't just builders for hire. They are a fundamental force, actively shaping economies, communities, and the physical planet we all share. And all of that leaves us with a really critical question, doesn't it? The blueprints from companies like this are quite literally designing our future. But as these incredibly powerful global firms are building the world of tomorrow, who is making sure that it's a world that's being built for everyone?